I'd like to welcome you to WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Think of us as Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Now please welcome your host, Scott Duff.
And a happy Sunday fun day to everybody out there. Scott Duff here along with Ellen Miller.
Good morning, Scott Duff.
Good morning on this kind of day.
This whole weekend has been kind of...
Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with the rain. Always happy with the rain.
We had a lot of rain. We've had a lot of rain.
We've had a lot of rain.
lot
Oh
of
my
people
gosh,
are
this
hurting.
week earlier when it was like, did we get like a month's worth of rain in one day?
It's bad. And my poor brother and his partner had their basement.
The basement.
flood,
Oh,
and
same thing with some of my
so
friends.
The
yeah.
rain has not been good for everybody.
It has not been good for
And
everybody.
the storms that knock out the power is the rough part. It's one thing to have some rain, but when you have violent storms, it's problematic, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I feel for all the people out there that are still dealing with
Okay,
that.
well, now I look like a jerk.
No,
Being all happy about the rain and everything.
You can be happy about something.
I know, yeah, but I mean, it was really bad this week. Oof,
Really
especially
was.
up in Wisconsin. Ooh,
Oh yeah, in Appleton.
Oof.
Yeah. It's
Sending
been
love out
violent.
there.
The weather's been violent.
Weather's been violent,
Mother
yeah.
Nature is upset, folks.
Yes, well,
Heed her warning.
always. Look, it's been another wackadoodle week, but we're here to make your day a little bit more fabulous. Hey, we know the midterms are coming up in November, but the municipal elections in Chicago aren't until February. But this past week was the day that elected officials and hopefuls launched their petition campaigns. They're starting. They're out on the streets, getting you to sign things. And Lenny Mana Hoppenworth, alderwoman for the 48th Ward, joins us to talk all things 48th Ward. And Nova Entertainment is a Chicago-based production company founded on the success of the podcast Boys Love, created by co-founders and husbands Adam Reed and R.J. Silva. Their latest venture is R.J. Silva's play Hail Mary Maria. And joining us a little bit later on in the show, actually live in studio, will be R.J. Silva. I know, we're so excited about having this.
People live in studio.
Yes, and of course, we would love to hear from you, so give us a call at 773-763-9278. That number again is 773-763-9278. And if you don't want to talk to us, you can always text us at that same number, 773-763-9278. And of course, you can listen to Out Chicago live Sundays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central on 8:20 a.m. on TuneIn from HeartlandSignal.com, or watch the live video stream on the WCPT Facebook page or the Heartland Signal YouTube page. And today's show is live on Facebook. We're reading your comments, so please leave your thoughts as well as like and share the page. You can find it at facebook.com/WCPT820.
820.
Yes, there we are. So how are you doing there?
I'm doing pretty well. Scott and I have had a rough couple of weeks. He lost his beloved pup last week, and lost a dear friend on Friday. We didn't see it coming. Our dear friend Kathy Anderson, she's one of Kathy and I and her wife Mary and Kat, both named
The
Kathy.
other Kathy, one with the K.
Yeah, the K and a C. And we've golfed together for 30 years in a golf league and became dear friends. Kathy passed away from her valiant battle with lung cancer. She never smoked a day in her life, but as many people know, cancer comes in all sorts of forms, and it doesn't even have to, you don't have to smoke to get lung cancer. And it was a genetic thing, and she was she's a singer and a guitar player. We used to get together and have our hoot nannies.
She was one of the hoot nanny gals.
Yeah, she was one of the hoot nanny gals I talked about on the show, and beautiful singing voice. And you know what? This is a great story. She's a twin, and her sister lived in Alabama, and her twin sister, she had a set date every week where she and her sister would play guitar and sing together on Zoom.
What?
And nothing could come between that date. I mean, it's like she was like adamant about that time with her sister, and she was a kind, beautiful spirit, and it was just kind of shook us to our core when we were walking out the door to go to Wrigley. Our friend Billy Branch played the national anthem Friday beautifully on harmonica, and we were literally walking out the door when we got the message she had passed. And we're all aging here. Scott and I are aging. But, he was a young guy when we started working together. Now look at us.
I know. Now I'm an
we're
old
both
biddy.
over 50.
Yeah. Well, no,
but it's just time. It's sad.
Yes and no. But I was having this conversation with my sister because I was speaking with her yesterday. She is a priest, and she's like I have another funeral that I have to do, and we were talking about the pup. I found out that a friend of mine, out of nowhere, we just found out that he has an aggressive and inoperable brain tumor. I found a former student of mine was diagnosed with a form of leukemia and is having to go through a bone marrow transplant. And we were talking about all these things about how, I guess, is this the season that we're in terms of our life? Because, in your 20s, it's all about going to weddings, and then 30s, it's like baby showers and stuff. And then as you get older, it moves into funerals. And she's like, no, we're too young. We're too young to be doing this. And it made me pause and be like, well, then maybe we're just blessed by having so many people in our lives. And I think that is part of the thing. If you are lucky enough to have your community be growing and being able to take stock and to reach deep into those relationships that you have, unfortunately, that's part of the pain of having a broad community.
It's so true.
And it's also one of the joyous things, because okay, so now you've lost somebody from your community, but then the rest of the community members, like your hootenanny gals, the golf ladies, coming all together to hold each other up and to hold her wife through everything. So
indeed. When I was a little kid, my parents lost some friends to cancer, and I remember thinking, I don't want to get old. I'm watching my parents lose their friends, and I don't want to be losing my friends when I'm that age.
Yeah,
it was always on my mind. But she never missed an Out Chicago. She never missed coming to my shows. We're very blessed, as you say, to have a community, and there's certain people you're like our circle. She and her wife were part of our circle, and it's painful when people leave, but you have to look at the great memories that you had and how wonderful they were in your life, and that we shared so many good times and so many songs and they were at our wedding, and they were, we talked about you're golfing, but you spend those 3 hours just talking about everything.
Everything and everything. Anything and everything.
Camaraderie and friendship. So
and also not to to deny the sadness. I'm not saying that you shouldn't grieve or mourn or anything. It's so funny. A friend of mine in Memphis. I guess again, we are blessed because we have so many people in our world. She had lost a friend. And she remembered, growing up and watching her parents, grandma or older people, just receive news that somebody had passed.
Right.
And she's like, "Why? How are you just not unable? How are you just not
getting through?
And how are you getting through? How are you just not completely wrecked and devastated by this?" And I think part of it is, time. But you just kind of learn that this is a part of life.
It is. It's just sad when someone's that you spent a lot of time with, and that your friend is suddenly gone. And she didn't suffer long, so we're grateful for that. But just my thoughts go out to her wife Mary and her sisters, her family. We're going to get together in September on the 12th and have a memorial for her, and give her the proper send-off. And just, as I said, one of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet, with a giant smile, always positive, and just another reminder to hold your friends close, and, don't try to hold on to animosity. If you're with somebody, if you have a friend that you feel like you've fallen out of with, but you're thinking about them, don't let too much time go by if you care. It never hurts to reach out to somebody and say, I'm just thinking about you.
Indeed.
I haven't seen you in a while. And just let them know that you're thinking about it. It's amazing how people all assume when you don't reach out that you don't want to reach out, but maybe you're thinking they don't want to hear from you. They don't want to hear from me. But in life, and my dad taught me this, and I think I've tried to be that way. I try to be the one that is putting myself out there, and at least I know that I did.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because I don't ever want to think that I didn't treat somebody, or sometimes if you feel like, why haven't they spoken to me in a long time? Hey, is there something that I said that I may not have realized? Because I don't know what I've done to not, have you in my life anymore.
Yeah.
To just rethink, because life is short. I had a big milestone birthday, and, it is hitting me about, people make my friends and Kathy, you're always doing stuff. I feel like I'm trying to I want to get as much done and do as much as I can, because none of us are promised tomorrow.
None.
I'm not going to sit around and wait for things to come to me. I go out and get them. I do them. And at least I can say I have no regrets. And I just, I think most of us try to live our lives that way, but it's not always easy.
Yeah, no, it's hard.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's a lot of things that get in our way. And the world right now is very messed up. It's very easy to pull the covers over your head and say, I just can't deal, because there's so much horribleness going on. And, whether you're in part of the LGBTQ community, whether you're a migrant, an immigrant, there's all kinds of places to look and be frightened and sad and upset. But take every day and make the most of it, because don't let them get you. Don't let them win, as I like to say.
Yeah.
So that's just my mantra, is just hug your friends, love them, hold them close, and just live life to the fullest.
Yeah, agreed. It's so funny. Since Jerry and I have been walking through this grief with our pup, our sweet dog, I was dumb and I changed the wallpaper on my phone to a picture of Emmett when he was younger, and now I'm like, every time I'm like, oh gosh, that's a lot.
I know the feeling.
It's so weird. I'm like, that might not have been the smartest decision. But one thing that I'm kind of realizing, is, we have built our life. Our life was very regimented, especially the past year, around taking care of him. I ran into a dear friend of mine, ran into me at the snack factory. She gave me a big old hug, and she was like, you know what, here's the thing. We gave our dogs, because she lost her dog, Daisy, a couple years ago. But she's like, we gave them a great life. They were well cared for, because dogs don't live that long,
Never long enough.
So we were kind of, our life has been very, very regimented,
Yes.
I'm surprised. I'm like, wait, I have so much time now in the mornings.
Same.
Which is like, it's
crazy.
it seems
you just take
really
it for granted that you do these things, and now you're like, oh
wow, I have a
what?
whole 2 hours back, because it would literally take Emmett about 45 minutes to walk the block, and we would do that. I'd do it 2 times before I would have to go to work, and now world is kind of opening up, but we are having to undo habits.
Oh yeah.
But it's going back to. I mean, this is also perfect right now with everyone going after Fauci for some reason.
Nothing better to do.
Because COVID is real, but COVID is fake, and all that mishigas that was going on this week. But just in terms of stepping out, because now we have more time. Now we're able to, we don't have to leave a place to come home and walk the dog. We don't have to make sure that we allow this time before, or whatever it is, and it's a mixed bag, you're kind of like, oh, I feel guilty that I feel this relief, but I'm also like, I'm relieved that I feel relief.
Or Scott, in the winter when it was so brutal out and we saw everybody with their dog, well, we're sad about our Maggie, but I'm not sad that I don't have to run her around the block right now in the frigid cold. I mean, there has to be some, something that you take from it. It's bad that the dog is gone, but you have some time to yourself that especially when our dogs were both ill.
Yeah. Well, and it's not necessarily. I guess what I'm talking about is not necessarily about. It's more about what you were talking about seizing the day and grabbing and going and YOLO and all that good stuff. I'm realizing, we have a lot of work to do to undo these habits because we
know.
fall into certain rhythms.
Oh,
you know,
and like years, over a decade, you fall into these habits, these
Yeah.
rhythms, not habits, but these are the routines you do when you have a living creature you take care of.
yeah,
Like I always walk the dog before I came into the show
Yeah.
on Sundays because I got to think about what I was going to talk about in the show and clear my mind walking her. And, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Part of me was just thinking I should just walk her on the block anyway.
It's so funny because I was looking at my steps.
Yeah.
Because like I walk a lot. Usually I'm like somewhere between like 16 and 18,000 steps a day.
lot.
Yeah. And then yesterday I was looking at my steps and I was barely at 2,000.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, hey Jerry, I think what we need to do. I think we need to like Saturday mornings, because Saturday is the only full day that we have together. Even though I spend a good chunk of it prepping for the show.
Right.
Is like we need to go out together and we just need to walk. We need to like no music, no headphones, just like let's go for a walk. It'll be good for us and we can just sit and we can talk about, like you said, like we can clear our heads. We can talk about like, well, what do you think we should talk about on the show? No. But there are things that we need to. There's work that has to be done. The work of
unspooling.
Well, and also just the work of moving through grief.
Yeah.
This week, holy smokes, was this week a mixed bag at Yieldy's Snack Factory.
Really, what happened?
Well, I mean, it's just like the chit chat that you have. The jibber jabber that you have with customers at their register.
Yeah.
How
are you today?
Yeah, or a simple
Open up a whole can of worms.
how's today going? And like last week, I had this. It was this 1 hour was just like this emotional roller coaster. Like I had this lovely person come through. I'm like, how's your day going? She's like, it's great. I just got a job. I'm like, that's amazing. Like congratulations. Where are you going to be working? She's like, well, I just became the shift manager of this Qdoba that's going to be opening on like Irving and Western. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's right across from Lane Tech. You're going to be really, really busy. She's like, I know, I'm excited. And 3 months ago, I beat cancer.
Oh my
and just went blah. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
You buried the lead.
I know. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. And I'm sitting there like grabbing my coat. I'm trying to talk to her. And I'm like, Lauren, go grab flowers.
Yeah.
Go quick. Because I'm finishing packing up.
Yeah.
And so and I just gave.
That's so sweet.
And we gave her some flowers. And I was like.
Made her day. Just the
I'm like,
gesture
how are you
that.
doing? Like, congratulations. Like, you got a new, and look at all this stuff that's happening in your world. And we stood there, we're hugging and we're crying in the middle of Trader Joe's.
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And then, like, 2 people later, I'm like, what does the rest of the day hold for you? It's like, I'm adopting a puppy. Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So it's just, but I think it's one of those things where it's good to talk about feelings. It's good to be out and active and moving and doing things.
Yeah.
I think I was, the other day, so we have a loft in our place, which is where like our TV is and everything. We haven't been up there in basically since October. Like we'll go up occasionally, but it's because he would try to follow us and he could get up, but it was hard for him to get down. Like there was one night he fell down this. It was awful. So I went up there and the plants that were up there were like, why have you forsaken us?
So you hadn't watered them?
Well, fortunately, they're like really hardy plants and stuff. But like there were 2 monstera and like in a spider plant. So I'm like, let me just bring you. I brought them downstairs. I brought them outside. And I spent the day like, let's like restaking them and like attaching them to their little posts and stuff and just kind of like giving them attention and being active with my hands. And I found it to be so therapeutic, especially when it's like with something that is making something grow.
Right. Yeah. I'm that way with our garden. It's Kathy and I get a lot. So I wonder, all the money we spend on the plants, the fertilizer, the soil, the water. Oh. But you know what? It doesn't matter because there's something when you pick your own, tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and that's what we grow.
Right, yeah.
It just is such a satisfying, fulfilling thing, and you're eating things you grew. It's just, it's really great for the mind. And that's why people have been gardening forever, not just because of the food, but because of how you feel about
Yeah, there's something about getting
the
your hands
process
dirty.
of seeing something grow, and then enjoying it. And it's been, gosh, quite a year for our tomatoes are crazy.
It's because of all the rain.
The rain
Going back to the rain.
and the cool and, the combination of things. And so, yeah, there's a lot to be grateful for. And we have to move forward through our grief. And, but you can't deny that it's there because it is. It's just life. That's part of life. Dying is part of living. And just move on. But Kath, wherever you are, we love you. And we know you never missed an out Chicago. And, those are truly dear friends, and we're very blessed to have had those people in our lives and continue to have
them.
Yeah.
And may her memory be a blessing.
Absolutely.
There we are. And now I have to say words.
Say words.
That are about mortgages.
Okay.
There's no smooth transition into that. I know.
Too.
But hey, this part of Out Chicago is brought to you by Team Hochberg. If you are looking to purchase a home or refinance your existing home, call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender with nearly 800 five-star Google reviews like this one from Chuck. My wife and I were looking to purchase a condo to be near our grandchildren, and we weren't sure where to begin. So we contacted Team Hochberg, who did an excellent job. David Hochberg was a breath of fresh air, no baloney, and very transparent, which was refreshing. He knows his stuff like the back of his hand. No gimmicks, no BS. Thank you, David. Let's review. Chuck and his wife wanted to move closer to their grandchildren, so they contacted Team Hochberg. David answered their questions and helped them purchase a condo near the people they love most, their grandkids. If you want the same outstanding service Chuck, his wife, and thousands of WCPT listeners received, call Team Hochberg at 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. The number again is 855-563-2843 or visit that website you know and love, 56david.com. ACM Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1643114. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're dipping our toes into masculinism.
Can't wait to hear about that.
There we are. So stick around. You're listening to Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Hey, this is Mark Patton, and I'm from Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street, and you're listening to Out Chicago.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller, rolling along.
Sure. Yes, we are.
Hey, tomorrow on Choose Views, Richard Choose guests are Matt Dunlop, 2026 candidate for Congress in Maine's 2nd Congressional District, Karen Hunter, host of The Karen Hunter Show on Sirius XM, and Mike Nellis, Democratic strategist and host of Endless Urgency with Mike Nellis. Also this week, Tom Hartman will join Richard to talk about his new book, plus Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. That's Choose Views. Weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. Central on WCPT 820 a.m., the Heartland Signal website, TuneIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Okay, so this week I saw a couple movies.
Oh, did you get out to see the Odyssey?
I did get out to see the Odyssey.
And?
I loved it.
Seems like everybody does. I haven't talked to one person that didn't.
I've talked to some people who don't like it, but I'm just like, you're just a contrarian, and be quiet. And you're wrong. Your opinion is wrong.
Did you see it on the IMAX?
No. Here's the thing. Everybody in Chicago was trying to see the Odyssey on the biggest screen last week. Mm-hmm. The only seats that were available, were in the front row.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I am not going to be looking up Matt Damon's nose for the next 3 hours. And truthfully, there is only one true IMAX theater left in the Chicago area. In Woodridge.
Yeah.
That thing is sold out, I think, pretty much through August.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
But it is amazing. It is a incredible feat of filmmaking. The thing that I loved about Christopher Nolan's interpretation is it captures the expanse of a myth. Myths are wide, they are broad, they keep unspooling. And within the Odyssey, there are stories within stories within stories that then come back to the main story. So it's this gentle unfolding, because you're let's see what's going on with Menelaus. And when Menelaus is well, did you know what happened in here? And then you go back to here, and then but you're still in this Menelaus story before you go back to the Odysseus story. It's just so.
Is it easy to follow?
Yes. I think part of it is just like, just stop trying to figure it. Also, I just want Agamemnon's outfit. It's bad cute. Like, oof, you look, it's hot.
I bet.
Oh my God. Agamemnon. Yeah. Yeah. But like the performances are great. Samantha Morton is fantastic as Cersei. I loved Charlize Theron.
I love her.
As Calypso. But that's part there where people are like really coming into fights about that particular one. Anyway, so I saw that. It's about, Odysseus, the quintessential hero who goes off to the Trojan War and then his 20-year track getting back home. I also watched Masters of the Universe, that stupid He-Man movie. Boy, oh boy, is it dumb.
And what brought you to go see that? What inspired you to?
Because I'm gay.
Hello.
See the guys Hello. Have you seen him?
No,
Have you seen his outfit?
No.
It is a chest plate and a loincloth. We're happy about that.
Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
But but the thing that's so funny to me, like that kind of goes with both of them, is the this idea of masculinity.
Yes.
And even masculinism. Talk about going back. I don't know. I'm doing a horrible job weaving this in and out. But I want to like. But when I talk,
I appreciate
but so earlier this week, like on Tuesday, I got home from work. I get home from work late, and usually what I like to do is I like to go outside and smoke a jazz cigarette, and just hang out, listen to music or the news, and just look at my patio and enjoy the other. And I had a friend of mine, my old neighbor, who used to just come over and join me. And we'd just sit out, like she'd just randomly, like she'd step out to smoke a cigarette. I'm like, well, come on over. And we'd just sit and talk. She texted me, she's like, can you FaceTime in like 3 minutes? I'm like, yeah, of course.
And she lives nearby.
No. Well, she no longer lives right next door.
Okay.
She lives, she still lives nearby, but she doesn't live next door, but she can just pop over. And she just opened up, she called, she's like, I just wanted to sit outside with you for a little bit. And we talked
virtually.
And we talked for 45 minutes, about that. And we talked about the Odyssey, and what she was talking about was like how Odysseus's masculine energy, his need, kind of ruined everything. It's a big theme actually throughout the movie, which I don't understand why conservatives are really upset about. They're upset because there are black people
playing the
in
role
there,
of
and trans
Greeks.
people are in there, and it's like, just stop. Stop it. It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Who's looking for authenticity?
It's a movie about a myth.
It's a movie about a myth. It didn't even happen.
So
it's like, let's just do this. Let's go. Like, but we talked about, like the masculinity, and it was her pride. I mean, the whole reason why the Trojan War happened is because Menelaus, because his wife went off with Paris, so there was like this, it's the fragile male ego.
Yes.
We all know there is nothing more fragile than the male ego. And what is happening right now is there is a rise of masculinism in MAGA. It's the belief that feminism emasculates men and that men should be in control while women stay at home raising children. It's different than good old-fashioned sexism or misogyny. It's actually a political ideology designed to deny women, or anyone who isn't a straight, white, cis male, for that matter, their rights.
Yeah.
But it is gaining, like you can see it. There's, right now the Atlantic has been kind of have their fingers on the pulse of following this. There was an article that Helen Lewis put out in June this past week. Adam Sewer put out an article called The Masculinity Scam. It's about how the manosphere and this administration in particular are using the fragile male egos to form policy. Like, I mean, there's some people who are really, really extreme about it too. Like, they want to get rid of the 19th Amendment. If you are unfamiliar with the 19th Amendment, that's the one that got women the vote.
Yeah, just that one. Yeah.
They are looking at like the political, it's now like a political block That's what the difference, I think, between conservatism and liberalism is. With conservative, they want, like, it's a family unit, and the man should be responsible for everybody within that household, as opposed to a liberal point of view is everybody in that household gets the same voice. That is what they're looking to deny and turn back. And you can even see it with all of these like bananas characters that are happening in the White House. You know, you have Dr. Oz saying that I believe it was Dr. Oz who said that we're like we're under birthing. We're poop. It was something about not having underpopulating.
Yeah.
It's like people are not having enough kids. Underbabied. Thank you so much, Debbie, that we are underbabied. They are like the dropping birth rate is a big issue.
Yeah, maybe if they had screwed up things so bad, young people would want to bring kids into the world. But right now, between the affordability and the scariness, couples are thinking twice about birthing babies.
Yeah. Right? 100%. That's like, I mean, that is one of the big things. And it's so, I mean, you see like Pete Hegseth, like lecturing generals that they are too fat. And now, all of a sudden, he's in favor of gender affirming care.
Right, as long as it's testosterone
for guys.
For the guys.
But it's like, it's the same thing. This is the same thing that happens with our trans friends. Yeah. You know, that's the same therapies that they are receiving.
It's just that if they do it for his purposes, it's okay. If you do it for your personal purposes because you want to live your authentic life, forget about it.
Yeah, I mean, and you have, RFK posting like shirtless videos of him working out in jeans, like what the heck? Like there's this mentality that is encouraging particularly young men that it's the only thing that is masculine that makes you a man is power, is how ruthless you are, how determined, go-getting, how much money you have. It's all about it's very aggressive and control and power and running under the assumption that men and women are not equal.
Correct. Well, I want to ask Devin, who's a younger man here. Are you seeing any of this among your peers?
Somewhat to an extent, yes. Me and my one friend Dave, we have a lot of fun going online debating these people because they love to run their own TikTok live videos trying to spew this kind of BS. I can censor myself.
Yeah.
But it's definitely coming on a lot more with the young men sort of thing where it's like, because again, I mean, I'm a little bit younger than both of you.
Yes.
Just gonna take a
Yes,
I'm
you
the
are.
same age as my mom, and he hates when I say
Oh my
that.
God, stop saying that.
And I'm probably the same age as your grandparent, but go on.
My grandpa just turned 80, but hey.
Oh, thank God I'm not that old.
But you're seeing, I mean, because growing up, I mean, there was always the thing, you had the gym bros, the guys who went to the gym daily, constantly lived out. But now you're seeing this whole thing where it's just they're trying to go like everything's masculine. And also, I'm seeing the new thing where it's like now being compassionate to women is seen as gay. It's like, oh my, and that's the thing now, Scott. They're using this masculinity, I guess, Ellen, too, to bring in homophobia, but not so much against the lesbian crowd. It's I don't want to be seen as a gay man. I gotta be tough.
Yeah. And then of course the slur of gay is coming back. Like the last time I heard that was when I was a camp counselor and I was dealing with fourth graders. When everything from a fourth grader's mind is either gay or retarded,
and middle school insults.
I know it's like middle school insults, and that is the culture that is being created right now and being permeated, particularly with the MAGA base. I don't understand. Like, and you can see it like when they're going after, going after James Tallarico.
Right.
Like that. The thing that's just so unnerving about that, like that's so unnerving about most of the stuff that's going on with this administration, is it doesn't make sense. Like they cannot attack his policies, they cannot attack his character, they cannot attack like how he's presenting himself, but they will attack to say that he is vegan. There's like tofu Tallarico. He's not, by the way. They go after him saying that he's gay or that he's transgender. Like they say this multiple times, none of which is true.
The new boogeyman for them. Yeah.
Yeah, it is we always had Devin, what?
Well, just Scott, here's the thing. We've noticed this with the conservative party. When have they ever attacked a Democrat's policy? With Biden, it's, oh, he's too old. He's sleepy. Oh, their dear leader, Ted Cruz. He never insulted Ted Cruz's policy. He said his wife was ugly.
Yeah.
MAGA doesn't know how to attack real issues or policy. It's all culture wars and other
It is.
BS.
That is true.
And
So
that's
true.
what you're
They
seeing.
get the
It's
attention.
nothing about policy anymore. You ask a Trump supporter name their favorite Trump policy, they'll probably say something like gas prices are lower because they don't have anything.
No,
Right.
they don't.
Thank you. Yes, yes, yes.
And the other, this Christian nationalist situation, part of that article that Terry Gross on NPR did, this, talked about the 19th Amendment being, repealed. This, one of the guys that floated that is a Christian nationalist named Douglas Wilson. He's a pastor who co-founded CREC, the Communion of Reformed Evangelical Churches. It has a network of 170, including the church that Secretary of War Pete Hegseth belongs to. And Wilson was a guest pastor in February at the Pentagon's recently created monthly Christian prayer service. What the actual F?
Well, and the thing that's so frustrating is because that particular person right there, was it Wilson?
Yeah, Douglas
I believe
Wilson.
On a UK show, he described women as like small-breasted biddies or something, which is like, okay, so Mr. Christian, that is not very Christ-like to be calling people these
There's
things.
nothing
And also,
Christ-like about
well, but it goes into it's the same sort of argument that people would come into with feminism.
Mm-hmm.
They are like, nobody will want to be with you. You're ugly. You're probably a lesbian. You're like all of these things. It is nothing but middle school insults,
Yeah, it is.
as opposed to like looking what true character is, looking at what true leadership is, what true, I don't want to even say masculinity, but of the humanity of being able to make really hard decisions that benefit, like weighing the pros and cons to see how it's going to benefit the most people, particularly most American citizens. You have people that are being you can see all of this weird sort of butthurt response from MAGA, how like, again, Tellerico, they're going after him. Why are we going after Fauci? Why are we going after Fauci? This is
ridiculous.
you see all of these people that are going after like the personal attacks that are going after people. A lot of them are women, and it's the purpose, the point. See all of these like stupid lawsuits that are being like thrown out there. The point is not, they know they're not going to win them.
Right.
The point is to drag their name through the mud for a little bit, to make their life really, really hard for a little bit, make it be expensive so they have to get lawyers and everything for a case that's going to eventually be thrown out of court.
And they know that people's attention, they hear about this lawsuit, and rather than following up and figuring out how it finally resolved itself, they just take the broad stroke of, there's a lawsuit against them, they must be guilty. These are clearly unevolved humans, these men. They're clearly living in the, schoolyard bully mode of their lives, continuing on with it into adulthood. And sadly, they're the leaders of our country right now.
Yeah, they are. But the thing that's just, and we're also living in a time where they're within the manosphere, which I don't dip my toe into because it's annoying and BS and like all that stupid fragile male ego stuff that happens. We're living in a time where you question, do they really believe what they are saying?
Right.
But are they doing it just for clickbait? And even if they are just doing it for clickbait, for clicks and likes and whatever, and for interactions, it is still getting that message out there.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that can be really, really dangerous.
It's dangerous. It is dangerous.
Especially to like young men, who are trying to grow up in this world where it's like,
it's difficult.
It's difficult.
It's very difficult for lots of reasons.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
But it's like, it just,
It's
just
mind
has
blowing.
to
It's
stop.
mind blowing. There's people out there actually wanting to repeal the 19th Amendment, but it's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's true. What are some of the other things that they want to? They want to. The biggest issue right now for them is also like the dropping birth rate, and the message that they're saying is like, oh, you got to be women. You need to be fertile. You need to stay home. You need to have babies, which also then goes into the whole fear. And the reason why they're worried about low birth rate is because they're worried about, the great replacement theory that white people are going to be in the minority, and that can't be.
Right.
It all comes back down to the perennial favorite, racism.
Mm-hmm. Alive and well in our country, starring our dear leader at the top.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And that toad, Stephen Miller. Anyway, just something to think about, just kind of be looking on the rise, like seeing what's going around in your world, seeing like how are people. Oh, but there's also this whole concept of homosociality, which is men who only associate with other men and who see themselves in relationship to other men. They don't have women friends. They don't interact. I'm not saying that they are part of the LGBTQ community.
Right.
It is literally like you have incels who are people who have rejected women, who are so repulsed by women that they refuse to even have sex with them.
They put them in a separate box, and then they, because they don't want to go there because, going there would mean they would be vulnerable and open to,
No. Going there would be that they have lessened themselves because women are less than. Like that is the mentality. So if you are a MAGA woman out there and you are listening to this, like just remember that there is a good chunk of the people who want to take away your rights, believe that you should not vote, that
or you should follow your husband's vote.
You should follow your husband's vote, or they know that you shouldn't even vote. As we said, taking away the 19th Amendment. It's insane.
I can't believe we're having this discussion, but in this day and age, but it's out there.
But here we are.
Here we are.
And we should be taking a little breaky. So here we go. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, there is more Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Hey, this is Kathy Richardson, America's sweetheart from Jefferson Starship, and you're listening to Out Chicago.
And welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller. Hey, you are going to be playing.
Speaking of Kathy Richardson and Jefferson Starship, my band Nelson Street Revival will be opening for Jefferson Starship next Saturday, August 8th, at Romeo Fest, which is in, of course, Romeoville, Illinois. And we're excited to do that. And there might be a little special surprise from our friend Kathy, who might just be joining us for maybe one song. Kind of rock out together like we did when the band was first formed. Kathy was one of the lead singers in the band, and she ended up going back into Jefferson Starship. But of course, because they're a little more famous than Nelson Street Revival. But we're still dear friends, and I'm thrilled at the opportunity. It is I guess it's like a 3-day or 4-day festival out there, and it's right downtown. There's a pavilion, and it's all free. Our show starts at 7:45, and Starship goes on at 9:30.
Right on
Saturday. So come on out to Romeoville. Come out to Romeo Fest and cheer on our band. We had a rehearsal on Monday, so we're excited and ready to go. And I just can't wait.
That'll be very
fun.
exciting.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have better weather. Like looking at all the stuff that's happening instead of Romeopalooza, Lollapalooza. Holy smokes. There's a lot of people at Lollapalooza. A lot of Lolla happening.
Yes, my neighbors that are all teenagers are just, I said, did you see the picture of the mud? We don't care about the mud.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't care about the mud. It's just the number of people.
Did you ever go? Have you ever gone?
No.
I
See,
used to
here's
go.
the thing. As I've gotten older, but even like when I was younger, like those gigantic music fests never, ever interested me. Mostly because I need a bathroom. I need a regular bathroom. I don't need a porta potty. I can't do that. That's nope. Nope. But I get a little freaked out in crowds.
Yeah, I know some friends of mine.
Like that's kind of why, like.
But you
street
can't
fairs.
stand away. You can get as close or as far.
Yeah, but then why spend all that money so you can be like?
Well, you can. There's big screens and you
But
can
still,
hear.
why would spend all that money when you could just be standing all the way in the back as opposed to sitting up? I just I don't know. Like I don't want to yuck anybody's yum.
Right.
But it is one of those moments where I'm like, it's just a lot. And this might just be grandma gay coming out of me, but I'm like, it's just too many people. I don't want you touching me. I don't want to be sweaty.
I went in 2009, the first time to Lollapalooza. I don't know if it was the first time, but I went in 2009, and I parked in what used to be the Monroe Garage, and I popped up to come out and go to the fest, and I quickly had my brand new first iPhone 4 stolen out of my pocket.
Oh.
I got the bump and I knew something had happened, and apparently there's still a big iPhone thieving ring. They're white looking. They're white people that are looking unassuming. They look like they belong, and I knew exactly who got me after I realized I was the one gotten because I saw a guy look at another. It was a guy with a backpack, white guy, baseball cap on. I had it in my cargo pocket, and we had they had the Find My iPhone thing even back then, and I was on with AT&T, and we were like running through chasing, like I want to find it, but how am I gonna? Because they
and what
pass
are you
it
gonna
off.
do?
I know,
Really,
exactly.
like, what are you gonna do? Be like, give me my phone, Matt.
It's
what are you talking about?
It's so sophisticated. The guy that took it passed it off to somebody else to pass it off to some. I mean, I was watching how this phone went through the crowd, but I hear it still happens. So if you're listening before you go out,
Well, also there's there are like white people behaving badly down there. They're
I think
on
they're
the
like
fights that are going on.
They're like an Eastern European ring, what I understood, because I did a lot of research into it.
Into the cell phone thing.
Well,
no, but I've just been watching like just random fights being broken up by like stupid people from
They're all
Naperville.
so high, and people are too high. And even when I went, 20 years ago, I felt like I was so old there compared to because it's a lot of high school kids. It's a lot of young kids. They used to have McCartney played it once, Mavis Staples. They had some older, but there's less and less of those bands, and more.
Right.
So you know what's good about that? I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
There you go. No FOMO on that one.
Yeah, no FOMO.
No FOMO on that one.
Not anymore on that one.
Yeah. But apparently Charlie XCX did a great job.
And people were all wearing green because that's the name of her record, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also her Brat album was nothing but a neon green.
Yeah.
cover.
So it's all green out there at Lala. It was on Thursday or Friday when she played. I did go to a Lala after show, which was actually before Lala, Wednesday night at the Vic. It was a band called Wet Leg. They're from and the band that opened was a local band called Smut. And Smut was great.
Wonderful.
Chicago band. I know Smut. Of course, I posted on Facebook about it, and my friends were like, "Oh, Smut and Wet Leg." I was showing our age. Like, that sounds fun. But they were.
What kind of music?
Like pop, kind of punk. I'd say pop punk.
Okay.
Both bands were led by women singers.
Fabulous.
So I loved that. And so, I wanted to get my, Kathy, you just want to be relevant, honey, don't you?
Well, no, but
you're
that's
still
good.
a part of it.
Be relevant, yes.
I do want to feel like I still have a touch of that.
Girl, I've been running, like, I am a Mr. Give me my Pop-Tarts. I love them, you know. Give me a lady with a top pony and, like, a bikini top, and I'm good to go. But I need to, I'm woefully out of touch with music that's going on. I think the one this year, the one throw to the oldies, to the older folks was Smashing Pumpkins.
Yes, it was.
Which my friend went to go see at the Riv the night before.
They played, and I heard at Lala, though, that stage was not the most crowded stage.
Well, I'm
surprise, shocker.
Like if I've had some very weird interactions with Billy Corrigan, not the nicest person. Anyway,
no comment.
Hey, tomorrow on Live, Local, and Progressive, Joan Esposito will be talking to Pat Kreitlow, founder and editor of Up North News, ahead of Tuesday's primary election in Wisconsin. Joe Cunningham, former congressman who now serves as spokesperson for the Pharmaceutical Reform Alliance. He'll discuss the PRA's new report on big pharma and drug prices. And Rex Hupke, USA Today columnist. That's Live, Local, and Progressive weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Central on WCPT 820 a.m., HeartlandSignal.com, and TuneIn. And we're going to take a break and come back, and there's going to be more Out Chicago right after the news, so stick around. You're listening out Chicago on WCPT, Heartland Signal.
I'd like to welcome you to WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Think of us as Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Now please welcome your host, Scott Duff.
Welcome back to the second hour of Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller. Being grandmas talking about compression socks during the break.
We talked about during the break.
Girl,
that's our secret.
Look, no, compression socks are the best.
I know.
Are
I
you
know you used to
kidding
wear
me?
them because we had some clotting issues, and I was wondering.
Yeah. No, but I would just wear them like to
People
go to
say
work.
I hate when something strangles my. Doesn't it squeeze your calves?
It doesn't. Well, yeah, but it's more like a little hug.
Okay.
It's like a little hug. I work with a former nurse who's like, your legs are your second heartbeat.
That's true.
Thrombosis. Yeah, thrombosis and everything. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
but the compression socks are great.
Since
it's
we're over 50 talk over here.
I know,
called
right?
Over 50 talk. Do you have your compression socks ready to go for your next trip?
Like I said, Grandma and Grandma Gay
Yes, right
over
here.
here. We're just
grandmas.
rolling along with our fingers on the pulse.
Yes, we are.
Of compression socks.
Mm-hmm.
Babe, we've got a great second hour lined up for you. A little bit later on, joining us in studio is RJ Silva. He is a playwright and co-founder and producing director of Nova Entertainment, which is a Chicago-based production company. Their latest venture is RJ Silva's play Hail Mary Maria. He's going to be joining us in the studio. And right now, hey, although it is 6 months from now, but let's just start looking ahead. Candidates and elected officials are now kicking off their campaigns with petition circulations for the municipal offices. They're going to be joining us. And joining us now to talk about all things 48th Ward is our good friend, Alderwoman Lenny Mana Hoppenworth. Lenny, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Ellen, for having me back. I'm really happy to be here.
Oh my gosh,
to have
how
you.
is your summer going?
Oh my gosh. Well, same as you, really wet,
Yes.
really smoky,
Yeah.
but also very joyful. Over here in the 48th Ward, we're lucky to have Asian Argyle included in one of our communities. So every Thursday night, come out
To
and
the night
dance
market.
yes.
I
to
gotta
the
do
night
that.
I
market.
know, we're
I
doing
lo-
it this week.
What time does it start?
6,
6.
right? Am
Yep,
I-
and then
yeah.
at the end of the night, we all line dance in the streets, and it's a lot of fun.
Wow. And are there food booths set up, or is it just going into the different Asian restaurants? How does it work?
A lot of vendors, a lot of food booths. There's a lot of retailers on the streets that
Fun.
are small businesses, but also our small businesses on Argyle are also open. So go and check them out, support our community, and have fun and celebrate Uptown.
Yeah, and you can swing by Timeline Theater, the new Timeline Theater with their new bar and everything
right
that's
in
going
the
on.
center of it all there.
I know. There's a lot of things going on in the 48th Ward. What are some of the highlights? I mean, I know we also have the new pedestrian walkway that is started construction.
We have so much infrastructure that is happening right now in the 48th Ward, including the raised intersections that are by our high school, Sen High School, that's along our Greenway on Glenview. I just biked this morning with neighbors down our new Greenway on Granville, all the way from the lakefront to the river west. And we stopped by and waved to the new metro station, which is in the 40th Ward, and who happened to be there but Alderman Andre Vasquez. So, so we took a little photo there. We've got a lot of pedestrian refuge islands that are popping up on Broadway, which has been in the works for over a decade, but it's challenging because even though the 48th Ward is very small in comparison to, say, Ronnie Mosley's ward, which is the largest in terms of number of streets and sidewalks, we're very condensed, but a lot of our streets are controlled by IDOT. So CDOT and IDOT have to work together, and we've been doing that. So there's a lot of stuff happening on Broadway, a lot of stuff happening on Sheridan Road, and lots of paint for our bike paths. We are working to make the pedestrian experience friendly, not only in Andersonville, where it has been very pedestrian friendly for a very long time, but every sidewalk in the 48th Ward, including on Sheridan Road, which is, of course, right next to the lakefront path. So there's a lot of people that are on Sheridan Road, but what we're asking bicyclists and scooters to do is to not use the sidewalk,
Oh,
to use the
thank you.
designated pathway
Thank you.
instead.
And how can you make that happen? How do you keep them from doing that?
Well, we're going to start with our partners at Divvy and Lime to geofence the scooters. So at least they will not be able to scoot on the sidewalks, because we have a very diverse ward across everything, including race and class and ethnicity. But we have a lot of older folks. We have a lot of dog walkers, but especially for the older folks, a lot of folks that I've been talking to since petition season has started last Tuesday is that they've been here for a very long time, for decades, and they want to age in place, but their bodies are not what they used to be, and a fall could be life-threatening to an older adult.
Yeah.
So people, even though they are on their bikes and scooters, eventually they also become pedestrians when they get off of their devices. And we want the pedestrian experience to be priority, no matter how you get around or how old you are.
So that geofencing, just so people understand how it works, does that mean that once one of the scooters goes on a sidewalk, it's going to stop operating, or how does it work?
Exactly. It'll slow down to the point where it's inoperable. And it's already been like that on parts of Sheridan Road, but we have extended it. Especially, I'm talking about where the Lakefront Trail starts on Ardmore, and then north of there. I mean, all of Sheridan Road, yes, but especially north of there, because that's how Loyola students get to the Lakefront Trail, right? That's how, like, people from the north, they think that that's the way to go, like head east as far as you can go and then go south. But that's not actual. We have bike paths that we've invested in. We've invested paint on the streets and signage on Winthrop and Kenmore. And those are the ways to get north and south, especially north of Ardmore, to get to the lakefront head. And we're going to continue to advocate for that. CDOT's been a really great partner, and now Lime and Divvy are also on board to do that. But even if you own your own personal device, we ask you, please be mindful of your neighbors. And sometimes they don't have eyes in the back of their heads. They can't see you coming.
And people are listening. You know, I'm a walker in Lakeview, Lenny, and I always keep one ear open. I listen to music or something, a podcast in the other ear, but I have scooters racing past me at 20 miles an hour. And I think if I would have moved over a few inches, I would have been wiped
Taken out, yeah.
And it's just, and I'm like the old, get off the sidewalk.
I know. We're on brand today, my friend, with like Grandma and Grandpa Gay.
We are, because it's like, I have a motor scooter that I ride, and I don't ride that on the sidewalks. So why should they be riding another, motor scooter? But I wanted to ask you about something else. I was digging into the 48th Ward before the interview, and one of the things that I was reading about was a little bit of controversy over the Fern Hill proposal. And apparently there is some pushback that many residents wanted to see a public park, on that site. And what made you decide that a private development, would be a better option?
Well, firstly, thank you for asking. I want to say up front that this is privately owned land. This is Emmanuel congregation. The synagogue has been around since the 70s, and many folks live in the neighborhood and also attend and are members of that synagogue. So it is their land, and so we are following their lead at the moment, because what they want to do is stay in the neighborhood, number one, and then number two, see if there's an opportunity to build more housing to get more neighbors in the neighborhood. That land, of course, is along the lakefront, and it has not, that all of Sheridan Road was built up in the 60s and 70s with those very tall buildings,
Mm-hmm.
as tall as the buildings downtown. And each of those buildings sometimes are a whole precinct in itself. It's a voting booth downstairs in the lobby with every election. And so they have not seen development to this magnitude, which is a planned development, which is also calls for more vetting through many different departments. And right now, if I could have you imagine on a graph where we are, a map of where we are, we're at the very, very beginning stages. And we still have to go through the plan commission. They still have to put forward many things, including a traffic management plan that has to go through the committee, the zoning committee. And then at the end of it, full city council is going to weigh in and say yes. But that's way at the
So
end.
it's far from a done deal. Is that what you're saying?
It's far from a done deal. And also, the city doesn't own that land.
Where exactly are we talking about
59, isn't it 59?
But for our listeners, like if you could, 5900, so that's like Thorndale-ish.
Correct.
Okay.
Thorndale, and it is right up the street from. If you're on Broadway, then you'll pass Swift School, and the Broadway Armory is right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go straight east, you'll see the Interfaith Park, which is right there on Sheridan, and then it's got a playground and it's got a beach. And then Emmanuel Congregation is just to the north of that.
Gotcha. Yes, I know exactly.
So groups
Thank you.
like Lenny, the Edgewater Residents for Responsible Developments, just if you can address, one of their big issues is they don't feel there's been enough public input. And how do you answer that? What metrics have you used to really get the pulse of what's going on in the neighborhood as far as the feeling on the project?
We've had, firstly, many conversations. Not only I'm out in the community all the time. I was just there last night actually, but we've had a town hall. In fact, at Burger Park, just last week, and we have had multiple ward nights where people can just come to the ward and express any of their concerns that they have in the 48th ward. But pointedly towards this development, we've had 2 public meetings at the congregation, also a virtual town hall where people could come in. We've had surveys that have been provided to folks. 3 different renderings have been presented to the neighbors where people could also give feedback after everyone. We have a zoning advisory committee as well. That's composed.
What is who's I'm sorry, thanks. Who's composed?
Yeah.
Who's on that committee?
Yeah, so this is something that not every ward office does, but we invited folks who are interested in zoning issues to sign up and be a part of our zoning advisory committee. And we've had upwards of 20 people on the committee at some time. And so if there's any changes in zoning, so zoning is simply, how do you use this land? What is allowed to be built on this land?
Mm-hmm.
In Edgewater, we're very fortunate to be able to say we don't have any, commercial manufacturers that are here now who want to come in, right? That's actually a zoning thing. Mostly what we have is residential and businesses. On Sheridan Road, Emmanuel Congregation was zoned to be like a single family home basically. And it's sandwiched by these skyscrapers, these very tall towers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's the issue right now. What makes sense for a neighborhood? What is going to be beneficial for the neighborhood? What are the challenges to build something other than what it is right now? And Emmanuel Congregation knows that what they have right now is not sustainable for them. And so they're looking to the community to say, this is what we're proposing. Please give feedback. You can also give feedback directly to Emmanuel Congregation, and because they have been also in attendance at all of these meetings. Again, this is something that the city isn't putting forward. It's privately owned land. Emmanuel congregation wants to stay, and we are all asking everyone to work together to figure that out.
Yeah. Well, thank you so
Thank
much
you for talking about that, because I know it seems to be a little bit of a hot button issue in the ward from what I was reading. So I appreciate you addressing it.
Yeah, I mean, I think generally the conversations around the neighborhood, no one disagrees that this is a fantastic neighborhood to live. Nobody, if you landed here at some point, whether it's in the 60s, 70s, or early or later on, once you touch Edgewater and the part of Uptown that we represent, no one wants to leave. But it's becoming very unaffordable to stay. Rents are going up and vacancies are very, very small, and we want more opportunities for people to enjoy this beautiful neighborhood.
And I think
Yeah.
people agree we need more housing. I think it's just they wish it was more in the central business district as opposed to along the lakefront. From what I read, they're all for more affordable housing, because that's the mentality in Edgewood. We got very activists there and people that care, but I think there just seems like the location seems to be obviously controversial for people. But hopefully you're going to continue to get feedback, and people what the people want will be inevitably what happens. So.
Yeah, and I also think about how we're not the central business district, and yet we have a lot of business in the 48th ward that are small mom and pops
Right.
that have popped up along the red line stations, including, for instance, I was just at Loaves and Witches
Loaves
this
and
morning.
Witches, so good.
It's so
So
good.
good.
Sounds good. Right? I haven't had anything to eat
So
yet.
good.
It's so good.
Yes, and it's so good and so fun, and they're just so fun. So that's just an example
Yeah.
of a small business that popped up along the trains, and truly that is how Edgewater was built way back in the beginning of time. A train station was was the hub, the reason why people wanted to live in Edgewater, because there was transportation from Edgewater to wherever that central business district might be, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't want to live down there. They wanted to live up here, where it's a little bit further away from that central business district. It's one of the reasons why Chicago is a fantastic place to live, because we have all these incredible neighborhoods
Yeah.
that are very different from
Yes.
each other. I want to say that my neighborhoods, Edgewater and Uptown, 60660 and 60640, has one of the highest concentrations of LGBTQ plus
Oh yeah,
people who
definitely.
live here.
Girl,
They
that's why
might
I
have
live there.
Right. They might have moved here early on in the 60s or
Yeah.
70s, and they're still here and they want to stay.
Yes.
And also people who are from Texas and from California and from Indiana are moving here using the Greyhound bus to get to Chicago, and people telling them, go check out Edgewater. It's really friendly up there. I want to take a census and find out where the highest concentration of trans folks live. I feel like the 48th ward would rival every single other neighborhood, because we have so many resources. We have Chicago Therapy Collective. We have Howard Brown, which is right up the street. We have the Gerber Hart library, and we have Planned Parenthood. I mean, we are a hub, and we have Andersonville, for goodness sakes. But all of Edgewater, we live in all of Edgewater, and so we want every single sidewalk to feel safe, no matter what time of the day it is. We want more housing, so we have more opportunities for more of our friends to live here, and opportunities for people to open up businesses, especially on Broadway near the train stations, because we have room. We have room to grow, and we welcome that.
Yeah. And, it sounds like you still have a lot to do and a lot that you are envisioning for the ward. Tuesday, petition season began. How is it going? I know we've kept you over a little bit, but just real quickly, how is everything going? And I know there's some upcoming events that are happening within the ward.
Yeah, so I did kick off. I was really happy to kick off at Atmosphere, and I got the endorsement of the Girl, I Guess, Progressive Voter Guide, which is so huge for us in on the north side here. And also, we have been petitioning since day one. I got all of my signatures on the first day.
Of course.
The minimum number amount is 473. I got over 650 with my team of volunteers who've been canvassing every single precinct, and we're just going to keep going. I have many endorsements, of course, all of my people on the north side and my colleagues. I'm very grateful for that. But if you see somebody with a clipboard, they're walking around trying to get on the ballot. And that's what I need to do too. Even as an incumbent, I need to get on the ballot. So just please sign a petition to get me back on the ballot. And also you can choose to listen to what I've accomplished. I am open to having conversations at the door, at town halls, in the ward office. But the most important thing is it's election season and people need to make choices. I believe that representation matters. You know, I think that I have one of the most diverse wards. So as a mother, as a queer person, as a business owner, as a renter, as a cyclist, and as a walker, we need regular folks to sit on city council to make good decisions so that all of us will do better. Because we know when we all do better, we all do better.
Yeah.
Amen to
Yeah.
that.
Well, look, and I know coming up soon there is a back to school event for folks in the ward for backpacks. Yes.
Yes. So we love this event. It's at Buttercup Park, and it's right next to McCutcheon School. And this is a school that we've been fighting to build a gym at for many years. So come out if you like music, if you like kids, if you like free backpacks, come out and support our students and come out and say hello.
Come on out and say hello. Well, like I said, we are 6 months away, but we are very grateful that you were out there. You were constantly throughout the ward. You were always like out there meeting people and hearing people's concerns. Thank you for that. And, as we get closer to elections, we'd love to have you back on. And we just want to thank you for all that you've done for the 48th Ward and for Chicago.
Thank you. Together, we're going to make it more fun in the 48th Ward in Edgewater. Please come out also to the Edgewater Music Fest at the end of August on Broadway. It's a family-friendly event, and it's a great time.
It is so much fun. I love
fun.
Edgefest. It's good.
I have my
It's
calendar.
good.
I got the Asian market on Thursday nights and the fest. Okay, I'm there. Thanks, Lenny.
That's right. Thanks, Ellen. Thank you, Scott.
Alderwoman Lenny Mana Hoppenworth of the 48th Ward, thank you so much. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be chatting with RJ Silva about his new play, Hail Mary Maria. So stick around. You're listening to Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Welcome back. I'm Kim Hunt with Affinity Community Services. You're listening to Out Chicago on WCPT.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. During these breaks, we are really turning into geriatric people,
Well,
complaining about
I guess
parking
if the
lots
shoe
and
fits.
complaining about parking lots and people on their bikes on the
That's
sidewalk.
right. Get off my sidewalk.
That is so...
Damn
Woo! All righty, there
All
we
right,
are.
that's us.
But hey, Monday on Driving It Home, Patty Vasquez will be joined by Austin May, candidate for the McHenry County Board, District 5. That's Driving It Home with Patty Vasquez, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Central on WCPT 820 a.m., the Heartland Signal website, TuneIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Hey, I'm very excited. We have somebody in the studio. It's also somebody who I've known. Look, Nova Entertainment is a Chicago-based production company that's founded on the success of the podcast Boys Love, created by co-founders and husbands Adam Reed and RJ Silva. Their latest venture is RJ Silva's play Hail Mary / Maria. And joining us now is none other than RJ Silva. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you so
RJ,
much
good
for
to have
having
you.
me.
Good to have you in
thank
studio.
you.
So we met
Yes.
when Jesus was in diapers.
Well, he's young already. What,
I
was he
know.
10 when you met him?
He was. Yes, it was. Yes.
I was a wee college intern.
Yeah,
Okay.
you were an intern with
So
about
you were a
face.
teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost,
Oh God.
I know. I don't want to reveal age. Today's my birthday, actually. Too.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
What? I didn't know. Yesterday was my mom's birthday.
Oh,
yeah. Come on,
Happy
Leo.
birthday,
Yes.
Wow. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about the birth of the podcast and then
Yes.
the transformation into launching an entire production company.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So my husband and I, during the pandemic, fell into this deep rabbit hole of the boys love genre, which is like gay stories from like Asian dramas. So Korea, Thailand, China, Taiwan, they just pump out all of these like gay stories, and you get so addicted to them. And Heated Rivalry is kind of like Heartstopper is kind of like our versions here.
Okay.
And we were like, why don't we just like start doing a podcast too? So it's called Boys Love. And then 3 years into doing that, we're like, well, why don't we start doing our own thing too? And so this play came about. I had gotten a grant from the Independent Productions Initiative to self-produce the play, and we were like, should we just do it? And we're like, yeah, let's do it. So we're producing this play
You got
as
a
our
grant.
first big project.
Congratulations on that.
All right,
Thank you.
so tell the folks a little bit about Hail Mary Maria.
Yes,
Which is going to
absolutely.
be opening up at Theater Wit on August 14th.
Yes. So it is a coming-of-age story about this Filipino boy. He immigrated from the Philippines with his mom, who's a hardworking nurse. He has his first crush on a boy at school, and he loves wrestling. So he imagines his favorite professional wrestler, Maria, to help him kind of get through his feelings. At the same time, because his mom's very Catholic, he also imagines the Virgin Mary to help him. So he has the two Marys, the two
Now, wait,
Marias.
you said your favorite wrestler, Maria.
Yes.
I need to hear a woman.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah,
lady
professional
wrestling.
yeah.
Come on, Glow, the glamorous ladies of
I know,
wrestling.
I'm sure some
Look,
listeners are like me,
sports.
have no idea about it. So
Sports
that's
over
what,
here. I
that's
know
not my-
sports things.
I actually want to chime in. When you say famous wrestler Maria, is this based off the famous Chicago wrestler Maria Kanellis? or
Yes,
no?
she is one of the inspirations. So this is like coming from like 2009. So all of these like diva wrestlers, like models turn into wrestlers. Maria is one of them. Mickey James, Candice Michelle, a lot of like these awesome wrestlers that come from this time. They're all influenced for this character. So yes, we got the cast wrestling. So it's crazy to actually see them like do the moves at rehearsal and stuff. So,
What?
yeah.
So you
they're
have a
gonna be
wrestling
wrestling.
director?
Yes, we have a wrestling choreographer, Axel Rico, who actually also did the wrestling for 2 Out of 3 Falls, which is another wrestling play that happened like 2 months ago. A month
You
ago.
know.
I knew there was so
Yeah,
much
there's
wrestling
I
going on. in
know.
The
life.
wrestling play genre is booming right
Oh,
now.
man, yes, I know. So he's helped us out, and it's been so much fun to watch the wrestling come to life. Yeah.
Yeah. So is this pulled from like real life experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So I moved to America in like 2004. So I went through all boys high school in Phoenix, Arizona. So this play takes place in Chicago. I set it in Chicago. And yeah, it's that experience of like, moving to America in high school, which is like the perfect time to also realize that you're gay. you
Right.
know?
Oh yeah. I mean,
And also trying to, assimilate like as a Filipino in a predominantly white school.
Right.
The character, like I drew a lot from my experience of like wanting to fit in, but at the same time at home feeling like I still have to be a good Filipino kid for my family, for
Yeah.
my parents. Because my parents, when they moved, they were already in their 50s. They're like, I'm not assimilating. I'm here to work and put you to college, and that's it. But I had to kind of be in high school and have to kind of code switch and be with everyone else. So this is kind of like my reflection of wishing that I was able to maybe, relax back then,
yeah. So what in your mind is, or even within the context of the play, Hail Mary Maria, that's going to be at Theater Wit?
Yes.
What does a good Filipino kid look like?
Yeah, I mean, if you ask my mom, it will be someone who goes to church every Sunday,
Okay.
who calls them every day to just make sure they're doing okay. I think now as like like in my 30s, looking back, like I wish back then I was able to enjoy a little bit more of like the Filipino culture that I now as an adult I'm like craving. Like now I've become my mother. I'm inviting people all the time. I'm like cooking all the time. Just like, making everyone feel at home, and like that hospitality really is like such a staple in like the Filipino culture. This kind of like is a way for this character kid to like can still be in both worlds and feel like he doesn't have to give up.
I mean, it's hard, you want to assimilate that, and especially when you're in that vulnerable high school.
Oh my gosh.
And so that's your whole focus. And I think your experience is probably true of so many immigrants and people that have come. That's their focus.
Yes,
but then, they're like, hey, you know what? I'm feeling confident in who I am, and I really want to explore my roots and my culture. And it's I'm sure something a lot of people can relate to that have, come here from other places.
Yeah, especially now too. Chicago has such a boom on like Filipino culture, like kasama, the food scene here,
the bakery.
There's
a bakery right by my house on Belmont and
Del Sur. Yeah, they've got lines.
Belmont and Southport. It's not,
okay.
It's called Dashi.
Okay, wow, yeah.
There are lines
out the door. I know.
And I go inside and you see all of these Asian folks and it's so awesome. I'm like, where'd y'all come? I'm glad you have a place.
Canon near me.
Canon, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, they're the best ube banana pudding.
I know. Oh yeah, that banana pudding.
pudding
I haven't into kasama because I love.
I still have not got to kasama. So if you're listening, kasama, if you'd like us,
please get us in.
Be a sponsor for this first show.
Why not?
Yeah, there's such a boom on Filipino culture here in Chicago
it must make you feel great.
Yes,
that you're in
it really does, and it kind of makes me like, wow, I wish, back then that I appreciated more. But I think there's a time and place, like as like
100.
the culture kind of grows more, then people want to learn more about it. So it felt like the perfect time to do the play too.
So without giving too much away, is there a special moment in the play that you're really especially proud of?
Yes. So while developing the play, there is that moment of kind of like he relies on both of these Marys, Maria, the wrestler, like who kind of like represents his confidence that he wants, that like showman, like the superstar in the ring. Yes, flamboyance, being able to be yourself. And then also the Virgin Mary, who is like very serene, ethereal, like really his moral compass. But the play actually also explores the third Mary in his life, which is mom, which like I think throughout the play he sees his mom as just like, she's there, I have to make sure that I don't disappoint her, that she's working so hard for me. But as the play progresses, she actually becomes a person that he looks up to, and it's like, oh, maybe I don't need the two Marys in my life because she embodies all of them already. So at the end of it, like, it is a coming of age story. He does come out, but it kind of is this love letter to just like the Filipino family, that being that family again.
Will your mom see it?
She she wants to, but it's the same week as BTS is going to be here too, and she's like, well, if I'm going, you have to get me tickets to BTS too.
She's holding you ransom for BTS tickets.
She's like, well, if I'm going, I'm going to have to stay all week so that I can get BTS too. And I was like, I can't get you a ticket.
Oh my god.
She found out I had gotten a ticket.
Just come to the play, Mom.
I had
Forget
gotten
about
tickets
BTS.
to BTS, and she was like, you didn't get me one? I was like, I didn't know you wanted to.
I thought you were a good son. I thought you were a good son.
So I'm sure there'll be another opportunity for her to see it.
Hilarious. Don't you, but like, it sounds like both you as a playwright drawing from personal experiences, creating this world in Hail Mary, Maria, that's going to be opening at Theaterwood on August 14th. For me personally, I distinctly remember a moment when my mom became a person, not just
totally.
mom,
Yeah.
but I'm like, you step back and you're like, oh my gosh, you were
totally.
a single mom and you were raising 3 kids and you were working these weird shifts and blah, blah, blah. And here I am like going, oh.
Yeah. That was totally me when I turned 30 and like went back to my family's. My dad had like turned his 70th. He had a 70th birthday, and he was just like, I just want you here for my birthday. And so I was there at that trip, and I was just like watching my parents be kind of like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, they're just adult, like that transition.
They're people.
They were doing their best back then, like, and thinking back now, like my parents moved when they were 50 to a completely new country, like working, those crazy shifts just so that I could like get to college.
So you could do this.
So I can do this. And so, it's such a interesting shift when you realize that, and you do have like some sympathy, and it even like judges like media that I watch now. Like if I'm watching like a show that is about like teenagers or like younger, and that they do have that family dynamic, I do see myself being more sympathetic to the parents sometimes, because it's like, I mean, they're all just trying their best, you know. So
it's called maturity.
I know. I'm finally learning about it now.
I think we all go through that because mothers are the most taken for granted human.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I when I lost my mom, I tell people, you never realize, you know, I lost my dad first, and then I lost my mom. I thought, well, I've lost my dad, so it's different when you lose your mom, because our mom is the one that we just kind of has always been there, and we just kind of expect them to always be there.
Yeah.
So it's great that you're honoring your mother while she's here.
Well, you could have gotten her a ticket to BTS.
I know. She did call. So when I called her today for her birthday, she was like, "Oh, so you know, I got a ticket to BTS too. I'm going to LA." She's literally flying in for an LA show and then flying.
Well, how old is she now? In her 60s?
She's 70. She just turned 70.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well,
Come on.
I told her, I was like, it must be so nice to be retired and just going to BTS.
Following BTS around the country like a teenager.
Exactly. I was like, you're a little too old to be doing this. And she's like, I don't
No
care.
such
I like
thing.
her spirit.
No such thing.
She's a contemporary of mine.
I know, she's living
What
her
sign
best
is
life.
she?
She's February 22nd. What is that?
Air, Aquarius.
No, it's on the
cusp?
it's Pisces.
Pisces.
It's right on the
Yeah,
cusp.
yeah.
Pisces.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Pisces.
All right.
I still like her though. No.
So, along with just the exploration of your family dynamic, you are also working with your husband.
Oh, yes.
How's that going?
It's been interesting. We
He's
met
directing the show.
Yes,
too.
he is directing the show. We met in college, actually, at Loyola. He also worked in About Face, like back in the day too.
Oh my gosh, that's
He
so
was
many-
an ASM for The Pride. Remember the show The Pride?
Yes.
But we were just roommates. I promise we were just roommates when we were in college. And then like 2 years later, we were like, oh, we're not just roommates.
I have to ask, was he out? Was he out?
Yes.
And you were both out as roommates.
He was. I was like socially, but not in my with my family.
So it was a surprise to your roommate.
Well, it was. It's funny, when we had finally gotten together, he had posted a Facebook back when Facebook official meant something. Yeah, and he made it, and my dad.
Oh no!
He had a gallbladder attack.
What?
Okay, it's not because of that, but I'm sure it just timed out well.
It was a coincidence.
Yes, and so I was like, okay, well then this is the real deal now.
Oh, okay.
And your parents are obviously supportive too.
Yes, they came to the wedding. They ask him all the time. My dad went from like, "How's your friend?" to like, "How's Adam?" You know?
Yeah. That's
It's
always
the
a
small
big.
Though, to
steps.
see your parents show that what love is really about.
Yes, yeah. They've been very supportive. It's very sweet, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy with them.
So now is this because you've been doing a lot of digital content and like things on social media.
Yes,
so
yeah.
is Hail Mary Maria the first stage production?
Yeah, yes.
I know you've had some workshops.
Yes, yeah. We did a bunch of workshops here in Chicago. We did one in the Bay Area and one in Seattle. And then when I had received this grant, honestly, I was just about to do another workshop. But all of my friends and Adam was like, I think you've workshopped this enough. I think
Let's
it's time to
just
just put it out there. And so we're doing it. I was talking to a bunch of playwrights yesterday about self-producing. You know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of investment into it. But we just felt like because we had gotten a grant, if we could, help match it, I think we should be able to do it. And so we're doing it. It's so refreshing to have a team because Adam and I are so used to just making our own content. Like it's just us, like on YouTube and everything. But with having a whole team, getting designers to like see how they interpret the work and like seeing it come to life. It's been so like, oh my God, it's a breath. It's a relief.
Yeah,
really.
Well, it's very exciting. It's like giving birth.
Yes, exactly.
A little bit what I can imagine.
Me
But
too.
so when folks come to check out the world premiere
Yes.
of Hail Mary Maria, that's going to be at Theater Wit August 14th through the 25th, what do you hope people take away from it?
I hope that they're able to kind of see the universality of like what this Filipino story is. Like, I think everyone can come into the story, see the show, and like take something away that reflects their lives, someone they know, and that we're all just kind of like, we all experience the same things, like whether it's with our family, with our sexuality, with our identity, with our self-confidence, like, learning who we are. It's all universal themes, and it's not as kind of like foreign or as, because there will be a lot of Tagalog. They will be hearing the language of the Philippines.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
so the mom and kid speak in Tagalog a lot, but kid, because he's trying to assimilate, he's like trying to speak back in English, and the mom's like, no.
I think American might be the right word.
I know,
Sometimes
right?
we don't really speak English here.
But even with that, I think people will still take away like a sense of universal, like, wow, I feel like I know these people, I am in this house, and I feel that dynamic and what kids going through. So
Excellent.
Well, hey, man, listen, everybody out there, do not miss Nova Entertainment's production of R.J. Silva's Hail Mary Maria, directed by Adam Reed.
Yes.
It's going to be at Theater Wit starting August 14th through the 25th. For tickets and info about Nova Entertainment, go to the-novas.com.
yes.
And like and subscribe and all that good
Yes,
stuff.
please.
And support RJ
Yes,
and
please.
his husband and this lovely, it sounds fantastic.
Thank you
really.
so much.
There you are. RJ Silva, Break All the Legs.
Oh, thank you.
And you really are, you're an inspiration. It's like, you know what?
Thank you.
It really is like I'm want to do something, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So go do it.
If you've been waiting for a sign, if you're listening, you're waiting for a sign, do it now.
If you're looking for a sign, this is it. Oh my gosh. Ricky Martin posted that once. We stalked him on Instagram, and I'm like, you're right. So
It's time.
I'm flying to Puerto Rico, and I'm going to be a mother to those babies. Anyway, RJ Silva,
mother they never
Break All the
wanted.
Legs.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it is the final thrilling show-stopping moments about Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
I'm Molly McCormick. And I'm Danny Parpan. And we're an indie folk group called The Fruit Flies. Welcome back to Out Chicago on WCPT.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ella Miller.
We need some new people. We should have grabbed
I know we should have grabbed RJ.
Come back. You can hear our voice. Go get him.
I know. That was like from our first year of...
The fruit flies.
I know.
They were great, but
I know.
where are they today?
They're no longer together,
They're not
actually.
together. No one has heard of them. Okay, we have to do a little revamping around here. But,
Wow,
yeah. That's okay.
There we are. What was it? I had to read something.
Yeah, read
Where
away.
did it go? Oh, there we go. There it is. Sorry.
go?
Hey, I'm just moving things around. We're talking about the fruit flies.
Yeah, as
They're
we
doing
should-
all
as we
their
should
stuff.
be able to.
And then, hey, if you haven't already, you can follow Heartland Signal on X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at Heartland Signal. That's all just one word. And be sure to check heartlandsignal.com for daily updates. And while you're there, check out Heartland Signal's free newsletter. Every week, Heartland Signal's senior political analyst, Aaron Kleinman, delivers Radio Free America, highlighting stories that matter in state politics but aren't getting enough attention. So subscribe today at heartlandsignal.com/newsletters. Also, you can go back and you can listen to old episodes of Out Chicago. There are a lot of podcasts. In fact, you can just ask wherever you get your podcasts to play episodes of Out Chicago. Just look for Out Chicago with Scott Duff and Ellen Miller. There are featured interviews. There are full shows. Last week, you'll just hear me crying through the whole thing, basically.
And me joining in a little bit on the crying.
joining in on the cry. We like to cry on this show.
Yeah, we're not afraid to
We're
cry.
here about queer joy and tears of joy and sorrow. But
And
here we-
sorrow, too, yeah.
yeah,
All of it.
but it was so great that having RJ in.
I love when we have a guest in the studio. You really feel.
Oh, it's always
yeah,
awesome.
It's so
It's
great.
but just in terms of like thematically, like, hey, how perfect.
Yeah.
And in terms of like,
From his
for his birthday,
perspective.
happy birthday again, RJ. But just, yesterday was my mom's birthday, which is always like for me, it's a day to just to remember to really, really, really be kind, because she was a kind,
good thing.
kind lady.
Yeah.
And I made sure that I ran out and. She loved yellow flowers. She loves her ice cream, and she loved.
What kind of ice cream?
Well,
Coffee?
okay. Here's the thing. I kind of got a lesser ice cream. I was a little upset. It was a honey pistachio, which was, ice cream is ice cream. Like, it's good.
Yeah, I love ice cream.
But sometimes you can get like a good ice cream. And just like, ice cream. This was just ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
But I managed to, we had to go. I was like, Jerry had been running out. I'm like, I need to pick up some yellow flowers. He's like, I can't find any. They were yucky. So I'm like driving. I'm like, I have to go get some.
You have to.
I went and they got some beautiful little like sunflowers and some spray roses, whatever. I'm like, Jerry, use your superpower. Make this beautiful. I don't know what he does. There's something about him.
I've seen his work
in terms of like arranging flowers.
Yeah, he's very.
But I was
great
like,
eye.
he's got an incredible eye, and I'm like, please can you make this beautiful? And lo and behold, it was just. This arrange. They threw lemons in there. Like there was just stuff all over.
You want yellow? I'll bring you yellow.
You want some yellow? I'll do some yellow.
Yeah.
So like how great to have that, and also just an exploration of a relationship with mothers, and also drawing power from women.
Yes.
As we're talking about masculinism and how women are being discounted. In certain parts of the country.
They're afraid of us, obviously.
They are. Well, they're not afraid. They just don't like women in power. They think it is demasculating. It's like you are taking away my power. It's like, no, we all have the same power.
You want to share in the power?
Yes.
Can we share in the power? We're not sharing in the power now.
We are not.
So lopsided, but that's a whole nother show.
And there we are. And even for all of its, depending on your views with how you view toxic masculinity, I still recommend The Odyssey.
Oh,
I really do.
We're going to see it for sure.
And also see if I want to see it again, and I need to see it on a bigger screen, is what I've decided. Because there really is so much to take in. Mm-hmm. But the performance, again, this is a feat of movie making.
Do you think it's just going to sweep the Oscars next year?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
I've never seen this much excitement
it's taken so much. Box office was I believe
huge.
in the billions.
Yeah.
I think worldwide. It's a phenomenon.
Yeah,
it is. It's wonderful, and it's also we're having a shared cultural moment with this, which is few and far between. I even made myself watch a World Cup game so I can be like, well, what is this all about? Yeah, you were gone when I was watching the World Cup, but there's something I just don't know.
Is it filmed? It's not filmed in Greece at all, I don't think, is it?
I don't know. It's filmed in a bunch of different countries.
Yeah. Maybe it's filmed there somewhere. I would think it would be something filmed there, but who knows?
But I mean, I don't know off the top of my head. You and your Greek citizenships, just
those are my people.
I know they're your people, but go with it. Just go and experience it. And also, that 3 hours does not feel like 3 hours. It flies by. The story is being driven. It's fantastic.
I hear you. There's a thing out where it tells you the best times to go to the bathroom.
Oh, really?
The best moments. Yeah, Kathy was telling me.
No, see,
the best moments where you can not miss so much.
There you
go. To the
bathroom. There you go. And hey, and while you're going to the bathroom, you also make sure that you're not going to miss Ellen Miller at Nelson Street Revival
Thank you. On
opening.
Saturday night in Romeoville at Romeo Fest.
There you go.
It was partially filmed on location in Greece. I just want the Greek people to get a little something out.
There we go.
That's
as we all do.
Yes.
And that's going to do it for us today. I want to thank our guests, Alderwoman Lenny Hoppenworth and R.J. Silva. Tevin, so wonderful to have you back here.
Good to see you,
Paul,
Devin.
thank you so much for everything that you're doing back
Paul.
there. Ellen Miller.
Thank you.
Sending love and community your way.
I appreciate it.
We are fortunate to feel as sad as we do because we have been blessed with so much love and company.
Amen to that, Scott.
There we are.
So true.
And I'm Scott Duff, and until next week,
Stay proud.